a few cycles of breath just here. Find any little movement that feels good. Maybe a little roll of your shoulders, maybe a little movement through your neck. And if you still have your eyes open, you might even look around. Just take in the space you're in. And then if it's comfortable to close eyes, you might close your eyes. And just feel your feet on the ground, feel the texture maybe of your mat under your feet. And then just begin to tune into your breath. Take some deeper inhales, some longer exhales. And as always, making that transition into your own practice, into your body, seeing where you're at today, using the practice to learn something about yourself. Invite some softness around your eyes. And if the tongue is pressing against the roof of the mouth, maybe let it soften down. And then turn your palms forward if you haven't already. So find that slight rotation through your shoulders, opening it a bit more through your chest. And we'll begin to move in more obvious ways. So use your next inhale to reach your arms wide and up overhead. Lift your gaze, eyes open if they were closed. And then as you exhale, arms wide and all the way down by your side. And let's do that again. Inhale and arms can lift. Lift the gaze. Exhale, arms lower. You can lower the gaze. And one more just like that. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Now with your next inhale, lift those arms overhead. And on your exhale, left arm down, side stretch, reaching up and over. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale and taking it over to the other side. Inhale and back through center. Now as you exhale, let's bring those hands behind us, interlace them at your lower back, and then send those knuckles down as you open through your chest. Pause here, breathing in and breathing out. Notice the shoulder blades coming a bit closer. Maybe the palms are together, or you're drawing the heels of the hands towards one another. One more inhale and exhale. Releasing those hands, reaching your arms overhead once again. And now as you exhale, we're folding forward. So nice bend in those knees to do that. And maybe your arms stay by your ears, or you bring hands to your hips. And then with a neutral spine, folding forward and down. Release those hands, bring them to the shins. Keep your knees bent, halfway lift. You're looking for that flat back. And then as you exhale, fold. Maybe dropping the head, maybe looking between your legs. And then again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And another like that, halfway lift. Inhale, notice more action through that core, that back body. And then folding forward, more passive. Head can hang. Pause here, take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. With your next inhale, we're going to bend into those knees deep, rising into chair pose. Reach your arms by your ears, lifting that torso. And then as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. Straightening legs, reaching all the way up. Inhale, and finding a side stretch towards the right. Exhale. Back through center. Inhale, and take it over to the other side. Exhale. We're going to move through that a few more times. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending those knees, rising, chair pose. Exhale, bringing hands to heart. Pushing the floor away, straightening legs, reaching arms up. Inhale, side stretch towards the left. Exhale. Back through center, inhale, over to your other side, exhale. Back through center, inhale, forward fold again. Bend those knees as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift, keeping those knees slightly bent. Exhale, fold. Bending deeper, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Push the floor away, straighten legs, rising up. Exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Back through center, inhale. Other side, exhale. Center, inhale. And again, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. One more round, chair pose, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Pushing the floor away, straighten up, inhale. Left arm down, side stretch, exhale. Back through center, inhale. Other side, exhale. Center, inhale. Folding forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. And now stay in your forward fold, exhale. Hold on to opposite elbows, take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, bend into your right knee, straightening that left leg. Explore that left hamstring, lift that left sit bone, push down through that left heel. Breathe in and breathe out. And then switch, bend into that left knee, straighten the right, and explore that right hamstring. Again, it doesn't have to be completely straight. Remember, if you're one of those that tend to extend quite a bit, bend in the knee will be more beneficial. Send that right sit bone up, press that right heel down. And then with your next inhale, bend into both knees and return into your chair pose, arms lift. And as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. Let's pause here for a moment. See if you can lift your toes, wiggle them. So notice the weights coming into your heels. And then try to lift your torso some. Okay, it doesn't have to be all completely lifted, so you don't want to go into a back bend too much, but you don't want to be just rounded over. So some place in between. Another breath in and another breath out. And then again, pushing the floor away, straighten legs, reach your arms towards the ceiling. And this time on your exhale, bring the hands behind you. Find the opposite interlace to the one we did before. And then straighten those arms, knuckles reach down. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open up the chest. Breath in and breath out. Release those hands, arms will lift. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and on your exhale, plant those hands and step your feet back into downward facing dog. And a little movement here in your down dog. So maybe you lift and lower one foot at a time. Maybe you bend and straighten one knee at a time. And maybe your hips are swaying a bit from side to side. And as you find that movement, make sure that you're still strong through your arms. You're pushing the floor away with those hands. Sending your sit bones up and back. And then let's find stillness. Breathe in. And breathe out. And another breath in. And a breath. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your feet. So we're coming towards the back of the mat. And then find your forward fold here. Exhale. Inhale, hands are coming to the hips. Bend in those knees and slowly unroll the spine as you make your way up to stand. Give your shoulders a roll and let your arms hang by your side. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And now as you exhale, bend your left elbow, drop the left hand behind the head and use your right hand to draw that left elbow in towards your head. And then push the head back into that elbow. Stay engaged through that lower belly. Squeeze a bit those glutes strong through your legs. And then inhale, send the arms up and switch sides. Right elbow bends, the hand comes behind the head. Left hand draws that elbow in. And finding that stretch through triceps, through armpit. You might feel it a bit in the rib cage too. Breath in and breath out. Releasing, reaching those arms towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, folding forward. Now with your next inhale, we're going to walk those hands forward and we're coming out into a plank pose. So now the hands are going to be straight under those shoulders. Draw the belly towards your spine, and from your plank, lower your knees straight down. So that will mean that your knees are going to be behind your hips. So you're not in a table pose, you're in a supported plank. And now remember when we did retraction and protraction of shoulders? So here is where it will come into play. So you don't want to be collapsing through your chest. So that would be shoulders retracted. You want them protracting. So you want those shoulder blades to be spreading out, and you want to be pushing through your hands. So as if you were trying to push your chest away from the floor, okay? Without rounding or going into a cat pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, if you can keep that upper back and that lower belly as is, extend through your left leg, lifting that left knee. Notice if the belly sags, and if so, then come back to knee down. If you can keep that protraction through upper back and that lower belly lifted, maybe you try lifting your right knee, push through your right heel, keeping that upper body active. Breath in. And then return to downward facing dog. Exhale. Full inhale here. And full exhale. Nice job. We're going to do that one more time. So when you're ready, come out into your plank pose, shoulders over wrists. As you exhale, just lower your knees. Again, find that action through upper back, that push through your hands, lower belly draws in, tailbone slightly tucks. And then from here, just lift that left knee. So pushing through that left heel, notice what happens. And then see if you can lift that right knee, push through that right heel, trying not to change much in your plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Nice job. Breathing in here. Maybe an open mouth exhale. Another breath in. And another breath out. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your feet towards your hands, sorry. Your hands maybe come closer to your feet too. And we'll meet in a forward fold, this time top of the mat. Hold on to opposite elbows, take a full breath in. And take a long breath out. Now with your next inhale, bend into those knees, coming back into your chair pose, arms will lift. And as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. A little work with the legs now. So let your shoulders relax and then lift your left heel on the inhale. And lower your left heel, exhale. Right heel lifts, inhale. Exhale, lower. One more time each side. Left heel. Exhale. And right heel. And exhale. Push the floor away, straighten legs, reach all the way up. Right arm down, side stretch. Back through center, inhale. And other side, exhale. Back through center, inhale. And then lower those arms down by your side. So we're going into warrior one, and we're going to do a bit of work with the strap and the shoulders. So grab the strap, and then with your next inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, left foot is going to step back, warrior one on this side. Okay. You get stable, steady stance. Okay. And then arms are going to come in front of you. Get a hold of the strap and get your hands shoulder width onto the strap, and then pull that strap tense between those hands. Okay, stay in your warrior one position. Remember, your hips are pointing forward more or less, and then your feet are on tracks, and the tracks are as wide as your hips. From here, pulling on that strap, arms will lift, inhale. And then as you exhale, arms lower. And as you lift and lower, don't change your spine. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale and lower. And inhale, lift. And exhale and lower. Now bring them shoulder height and then widen your hands on the strap. So wider than shoulder width this time. And then again, you're keeping that strap tense between your arms. And we're going to do the same thing because your hands are wider, you'll have a bit more range. Just see what's available. Inhale, lift. So your arms might go a bit higher or they might even go back a bit. And then exhale and lower. And see how much you can lower that strap without sending your spine or rounding your spine forward. And then again, inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Keep pulling on that strap. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale and lower. Now with your next inhale, bring the strap up overhead. And as you exhale, just take it over towards the right side. Make sure that you stay strong through your left foot. Okay, so from the front, this is kind of what we're doing, like a side stretch for the left side of the body. Breath in and breath out. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back through center. And then on your exhale, lowering those arms. We're going to step forward. Keep the strap in your hands. We're going to switch sides. Okay. So when you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, now it's your right foot that's going to step back. And find your warrior one on this side. So take a moment here to get stable. And then when you're ready again, we're going to find that narrow placement for the hands. We're going to bring those arms straight out in front of us. And as we do these movements, just like we did on the other in warrior one on the other side, keep your elbows extended. Inhale, arms will lift. Any amount that is available, keep pulling on the strap. Exhale, arms lower. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Now as you inhale, bring that strap shoulder height, bring your hands wider. So there's a few things here to play around with. The distance between the hands will make it a bit more challenging to keep the strap tense, but will give you a bit more range for those arms to come over and maybe behind the head. So just play with just that balance. When you're ready, arms will lift, inhale. And exhale, arms come forward and down. And again, we're not changing that lift through the spine. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale and lower. Nice job. Nice controlled movement. One more time, no, two more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Now on the inhale, we're going to lift. And then from here, we're going to pull through that left hand, that left side, and we're going to find that stretch now for the right side of the body. So stay really strong through that right foot. Breathe in. Nice job. Breathe out. One more inhale. And exhale. Coming back through center, inhale, and then as you exhale, lower those arms and step that back foot forward. So when you're stepping forward, remember, bring weight forward, come onto the ball of that back foot, and then lunge forward and come back into your mountain pose. All right, let's leave the strap for a moment here. Give your shoulders a little roll. Maybe a little stretch through the neck. And then if you were pulling on that strap, your fingers might feel it, right? There was a bit of tension there. So give your fingers a little wiggle and maybe your wrists a bit of a rotation. And then find your stillness in mountain pose. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. With your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, bend in those knees, folding forward. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen through that spine. And as you exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back. Come into downward facing dog. With your next inhale, come out into plank pose. And then as you exhale, just like we did previously, lower those knees there, right behind your hips. You've got that line going from the crown of the head through the shoulders, through the hips, all the way to those knees. And then we're going to lower down. So we're going to do it with control. The key here is to reach forward. Okay, so rather don't think straight down. Think reaching forward as if you were trying to get the heels of your hands to come towards your knees. And then begin to bend those elbows and lower. Chest and belly. Okay. So we're coming all the way onto the mat, onto our bellies. The hands are going to be under the shoulders and we're going for some Cobra. So strengthen up through your legs, push through the tops of the feet, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale and lower. And then again, inhale, lift the chest, keep your gaze down. And exhale, lower. Use the glute muscles again. Inhale, lift. And on your exhale, lower. All the way down. Bring the forearms in front of you. Rest your forehead on the forearms. And then relax your legs, heels out. Maybe wiggle your hips slightly from side to side. Take a deep breath in. Expand the belly towards the mat. And then as you exhale, draw the belly away from the mat. One more, just like that. Breath in. And breath out. With your next inhale, those arms are going to reach forward. And we're going to lift opposite arm and leg. So gaze down, maybe forehead even resting on the ground. Starting with the right arm and the left leg. Inhale and lift them up. Exhale and lower. Switching, left arm, right leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale and lower. And again, switch. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. And switch. Inhale, lift. And exhale and lower. Now with your next inhale, see if you can just lift your legs. Both of them at the same time. And then exhale, lower. And now the tricky one, and you might want to bend. We'll do it with the elbows bent, actually, because if not, it's a bit it's strenuous for the back. So let's bend the elbows. Think about cactus arms. Okay, so your palms are still facing down. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Gaze down. And then on your inhale, lift your arms and chest. And then exhale and lower. Nice job. Hands come under the shoulders and we're going straight into child's pose. Sit bones towards your heels. Head towards the mat or maybe head even towards your knees so you find a rounded spine. And if you feel like your arms being by your side, maybe you could do that. It's nice and relaxing for the shoulders. 3 breaths. From your child's pose, coming up into a table pose, your hands under shoulders, your knees under hips. And then let's go straight into cat pose, so round the spine. Push that back body up, breathe in, and breathe out. And now let's make that rounding a little bit even more. So come onto your fingertips and work your fingers towards your knees. So a little closer here and see if you can get extra rounding through your back. Tailbone tucks, breath in, and a breath out. And then coming back onto your palms and tucking those toes and back into downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. With your next inhale, walk those feet towards your hands. And let's meet at the top of the mat, forward fold, exhale. And then you could interlace your hands here and bring them to the back of your head or the base of your skull. And then just allow the weight of your arms to put a bit more traction on your spine. The back bending we did on the belly, we're countering it now with the child's pose, with the cat pose, and now with this more rounded spine and this forward fold and the heaviness of the arms to restore some space into that back body. Another inhale and another exhale. And then releasing those hands, let's bring them to the hips. Find a nice bend in your knees and slowly stack one vertebra over the other and rise up to stand. Give your shoulders a little roll. And then we're going to do one more thing with the strap. And you're welcome to do it with the strap or without. I'll guide it with the strap and then I'll give you the options. And it's the cow face arms, right? It's the one that one arm is going up and the other one is coming down. So the modification or the other variation for that is this one that we did before. Okay. So if this one's not going to work, okay, or if it's a bit too intense, feel free to do this one, okay? And I'll do it with the strap. So the strap helps a bit more to get those hands to get closer. So have the strap in your hand and we'll do it from warrior 1, 2, just like we did before. So when you're ready, reach your arms up, inhale. And then as you exhale, send your left foot back and find your warrior 1 stance. Take your time to set up here. Okay, good stable base. Engage through that left glute, draw the belly towards your spine. And then with your next inhale, right hand is going to hold onto the strap and let's reach those arms up. Let the strap hang behind you. And then we're going to bend into that right elbow. The hand is going to drop behind us and then the left hand is going to come out. Turn your palm to face back, thumb is pointing down, and then slide that arm behind you. Bend the elbow, and then the left hand is going to climb up to find the strap. And then once you've got the hands on the strap, you might be able to walk the hands towards one another. So left hand climbing up the strap, right hand walking down the strap. Breathing here. Alternatives to using the strap can be grabbing onto the shirt, or those with monkey arms might be able to get those fingers to interlace. Breath in, breath out. Last one, inhale. Nice job. And exhale. Don't get sloppy with your legs. Still warrior 1 legs. And then with your next inhale, release. Reach both arms towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring that weight forward. Step that foot back forward and come back into your mountain pose. And then we'll switch sides. So left hand now is going to hold onto the strap. Let's inhale those arms up. And then as you exhale, right foot is going to step back. Find your warrior 1 stance. And once you've got that, your left elbow now is going to bend. So left elbow is pointing up towards the ceiling. The strap is hanging behind you. Your right arm comes out into a T. And the more you stretch out, the more space you're getting into that shoulder, into that arm. Then turn the palm and then slide it behind you. Once it's behind you, bend that elbow. And then you might be able to grab a hold of that strap. And then you might be able to get those hands to come a bit closer. But just if it's available. Right elbow now is pointing down. Another thing that tends to happen when we do these things, we will arch quite a bit through the spine because that will get those hands closer. Try not to do too much of that. So push the spine back into your arms. So keep that belly engaged and don't go too far into a back bend. Breathing in and breathing out. And another inhale and another exhale. With your next inhale, release. Reach both arms towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, weight forward. So torso comes forward, lighten up on that back foot and step forward. Coming back into your mountain pose. Hands can come to heart and let go of the strap. Take a full breath in right here. And take a full breath out. With your next inhale, arms reach. And on your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, planting hands, feet step back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, let's lower those knees to the mat. We're coming into a table pose, hands under your shoulders. We're going to do one more thing for those shoulders, and we're preparing them to have the flexibility and the range for Dolphin pose. We've been doing quite a bit of arm behind us and lifting that elbow. So that's things that you will need for Dolphin, that forearm, kind of a forearm downward facing dog. So one more thing here, and then we'll get into Dolphin. So with your next inhale, reach your left arm out to the side, up towards the ceiling. Think about turning your torso towards the left. And then as you exhale, thread that left arm under the right and gaze towards the right. And then do that again. Let's open, inhale. And thread, exhale. And open, inhale. And last one, thread, exhale. Now as you inhale, open, and now swim that left arm forward. Take it as far forward as is available. You might go onto your fingertips, and then see if you can come onto your right forearm. Keep your knees and hips in line, and now walk your left fingers even further. Drop the chest towards the ground. Breathe in. And breathe out. Send your left sit bone back. Another inhale. And another exhale. And then let's walk those left fingers back, coming back into table pose and switching sides. Right hand is going to go out and up. Exhale, thread, reaching to the left. And then again, open, inhale. And thread, exhale. And inhale, open. Last one like that, thread. And now this time, inhale, open. And find that swim forward with that right arm. Reach, reach, reach. Plant your fingertips, lower onto that left forearm. Your left elbow more or less under the left shoulder. And then walk your right fingers a little further as you send your right sit bone a little back. Chest towards the ground. Breathe in. And breathe out. Feel that stretch through the right side. One more inhale. And exhale. And then use your next inhale to walk that right hand back towards you, coming back into your table pose, and then finding child's pose, big toes to touch, and you choose here. We did child's pose with the knees kind of hip width, so you might go a bit wider this time, especially since we've not done any compression for the spine. It might feel good to lengthen forward. So more of a long child's pose rather than that rounded one that we might have done before. And just take a few breaths. And softening through the jaw, eyes. And checking in with yourself. All right, so time to try Dolphin. So let's come up first into all fours. Align those knees. If you had them wide, bring them back to hip width. And then come onto your forearms. And the forearm position and elbow position is important here in these dolphins, because we tend to go a bit too wide with those elbows. So think about narrow position with your elbows. They want to be straight under your shoulders, and you want to kind of work pressing the elbows and the forearms down, but you want to have that action of kind of almost like trying to bring them towards one another, but you're pressing down so much that they won't move, right? But that action that you want to squeeze them in. Don't let them splay out, because that's what they'll want to do. And if they go out too far, then it's going to be too much stress on the shoulders, on the chest, on that upper back. Hands can stay, or arms can stay parallel, or you could interlace your fingers, except the pinky finger, and then pinky side of your hands is on the mat. Give a push through those forearms, tuck your toes, and begin to explore lifting those knees, what happens, right? And then the thing is that as we lift those knees, what we want to do is we want to bring the chest, or move the chest towards the thighs. So think about this as like a down dog, but on your forearms. So it's not a forearm plank. Your chest is not over your forearms. Your chest is going back towards your legs. And then your head kind of hangs between your arms. So you really want to push the floor away, so you've got some space for your head there, because the head is not resting on the ground. Nice job. So pushing through those forearms, lifting those sit bones. You might even be on the balls of the feet, or even your tiptoes. You can try walking your feet towards your elbows some. Come in and out of it as you need to. So your exploration. I'm just giving you some pointers, and you can just play with that. See where you're at. Take another breath in. And then let's all lower. If you will lift it still, lower your knees down. And a good resting pose after dolphin is a child's pose. And see if you can bring your arms by your side, palms face up, and allow the fronts of your shoulders to drop towards the mat. So relaxing through that upper body. Let's take a few breaths. Remember, with your child's pose, a block under your forehead could be helpful, especially if it's kind of in the air. And maybe some open mouth exhales. Another breath in. And another breath out. All right, we're going to try that dolphin once again. So when you're ready, make your way back up into your table and then onto your forearms. And again, you choose interlacing fingers, making that triangle shape with your forearms, or keeping your arms parallel. I find it more challenging to do arms parallel, but some people, depending on the shoulder mobility, some people find it better to have arms parallel and palms facing down. So try it out and see how it feels to you. And then as you're ready, same idea, tuck your toes and then lift those knees. And then as you lift your sit bones, think about your chest going towards those thighs. The head comes between your arms. And if your arms are parallel, press through the pinky finger side of your arm. Breathing and think about broadening upper back. Left shoulder blade goes towards the left, right shoulder blade towards the right. Nice job. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, let's all lower those knees and coming down again into your child's pose. And if child's pose is not that comfortable at this point, feel free to do something else. Try to relax your shoulders. They've worked hard. Expand through that upper back. And relax through the neck. And then if tension built up in the face, see if you can let it go. One more breath in. And breath out. And then with your next inhale, bring those arms in front of you. And we're coming all the way onto the belly. We're going to now stretch out those shoulders after that work. So sliding forward, lengthen those legs out behind you. Find your Sphinx pose first. So elbows are under shoulders and we're lifting the chest. The forearms are out in front of you. And then push again through those forearms. See if you can lengthen a little bit more through the crown of the head. Squeeze through your glutes and engage through the legs. Push through the tops of your feet. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, release that chest all the way down. Forearms in front of you, forehead rests on those forearms. And then bend your knees and just let your feet drop from one side to the other. And bring those feet back through center. Let them release onto the ground. Right arm is going to come out into a T. So I'll just face the screen. So we're going to bring it out with the palm facing down. So more intense if your wrist, elbow, and shoulder in the same line. So like going straight out. A little less intense if you bring your arm kind of down a bit more towards your hips. Okay, so you can play with that position a bit here. Your gaze is going to go to the left. Your left hand is going to go by your face. Rest your head on the ground and then roll over onto that right side of the body. You can bend both knees here. That will help with balance. You can lift your left knee towards the ceiling if that's available, and you might be able to plant your left foot behind that right leg. The more weight you send towards the right, the more intense the stretch will be on that right shoulder. So regulate here, make it your own. Don't take it too far. Breathing in and breathing out. You might even try giving a little push through that right arm. So push into the ground with that right arm. So it's not just a passive stretch, but you also activate those muscles a bit too. One more inhale and exhale. And then bring yourself back onto the belly. And then let's switch sides. So that left arm comes out. And just because you did it one way on one side doesn't mean you've got to do it the same way on the other. So if one shoulder is a bit more delicate than the other, adapt. When you're ready, rolling onto the left side of the body. Head is resting on the ground. And then again with the legs, see what works for you. Your right hand by your face on the mat is your support, and you can use it to push, roll a bit more onto the left side, or to put some weight into it and not, don't intensify the stretch through the left shoulder. Just see again what you need, a little exploration. And if you want, you could give a little push through that left arm. And one more breath. And then bringing yourself back onto the belly. And then bringing those arms again in front of you, holding onto opposite elbows, forehead rests on the forearms. Relax your legs, maybe wiggle your hips a bit from side to side. Take a full breath in, belly expands into the mat. And full breath out, draw the belly away from the mat. Let's find 2 more, just like that. And then from here, bring your hands under the shoulders and then make your way up. Let's find a seat. And we're just going to do one more thing with those shoulders and then we'll come down onto our back body. So whatever seat works for you, cross-legged or legs out. And then we're going to open those arms out into a T. And your right arm is going to come across the chest. Bend your right elbow and bring your right hand to left shoulder or shoulder blade. And then your left hand is just going to help that elbow come closer in. As if your right arm was a scarf and you were, bringing it around your neck. And then try to drop your right shoulder down. Breathing in nice. Lifted spine and breathing out. And then with your next inhale, opening those arms out, and same thing on the other side. So your left arm comes across, bend that elbow, hand comes to shoulder or behind the back, and then your right hand just helps that elbow come a bit closer. So you're getting compression through the front of the shoulder and stretch through the back of the shoulder. Keep that shoulder down, breathe in, and breathe out. And then as you inhale, open those arms out. And then as you exhale, lower those arms down by your side. Hands rest on your thighs and just give them a little roll. Gentle up and down the back. And then gentle up and forward. And do it 2 more times like that. Back and forward. And 1 more. Back, forward. And then let's end with sending those shoulders up and back. And then plant your feet. And let's come all the way down onto the back body. Maybe reaching your arms in front of you. Open up through the chest. And slowly lower. Lower back, mid back, upper back, and head all the way down onto your mat. Once that is there, bring those knees into your chest and rock from side to side. And then let's go into a happy baby. So knees are going to come wide, as if you were trying to draw them towards your armpits. Keep that sacrum on the mat. Keep your heels down for a moment and just first get that back body well grounded. And then perfectly good to stay here. Maybe the hands transfer to the backs of the knees and the right foot lifts up towards the ceiling, but keep your knee drawing down towards armpit, towards the floor next to your armpit. And maybe left foot lifts up towards the ceiling. That same idea. Keep that sacrum planted, keep those knees drawing down. If you can keep those knees drawing down and your shoulder blades on the ground, you can walk your hands up towards your ankles. But make sure that your head or your upper back doesn't lift off the mat. And then let's release that happy baby. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and then lower those feet to the ground, the knees wide. Finding that diamond shape with the legs. And you can rest your hands at your belly if it's comfortable. Or if you need to, just use your hands to help support your legs if this is quite an intense stretch. We'll stay for a little bit. You can also support your legs here, contracting your glutes some. So you'll make it a bit more active. And see if you can use your exhales to find a bit more release. And then with your next inhale, let's lift those knees through center. You could have them with your hands or engage through those inner thighs and hips. Lift those knees up and then bring your feet a bit wider and just let your knees rest against one another. So you went from opening the hips to now closing them some. So external versus internal rotation through those thighs. Hands can stay at the belly. And finding a few breaths here. And we're going to find Shavasana. So if you are already comfortable here and this is the place where you'd like to stay, feel free to do that. If there is any other movement that your body might be calling for, feel free to go there. You might take 5 to 8 breaths, and then we'll all eventually find stillness, and find stillness in the most comfortable position for you today. So maybe explore a little bit to see what that might be. Just because a certain position was comfortable last week, it doesn't mean it will be today. And as always, those small tweaks that you can make to your position, to your shape, that can make quite a difference. So things like drawing the chin gently towards the chest and lengthening the back of the neck, or just pressing the upper part of your shoulder blades towards the mat and broadening through the fronts of your shoulders. Allowing your feet to relax or maybe move away from one another if your legs are out and extended. And if you're feeling a bit more open, your palms might turn up towards the ceiling, your arms extended out by your side. Just options. And then once you've got that position in which you're going to stay, take an open mouth exhale and settle in. And for the next couple minutes, there'll be nothing else to do. See if you can stay alert. See if you can take the witness role rather than the acting role for just a few minutes. And then just tune in, notice where your attention is at, notice maybe any dialogue going on in the mind. And then just turn your attention back to your breath. Notice your next inhale, your next exhale. And then with that breath, begin to move your fingers, move your toes, move your ankles, maybe your wrists, maybe your neck. Moving in whatever way feels good to you. And then eventually, if you're on your back, you might roll onto one side. Before you rise up, give yourself a breath in, a breath out. And then push into those hands gently. Make your way up to find a comfortable seat. And we'll end practice together. Hands can rest on your lap. Maybe you bring them to your heart. Find that lifted spine. And let's here acknowledge the practice itself. Let's acknowledge ourselves for practicing today. We'll acknowledge all those who practice with us, and then all those who make it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.